Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the broadcast today, former State Senator Helen Foley joins us. She's here for the whole show on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers. As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
Story County is leading Nevada. Home of the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, Google, Tesla, Panasonic, and other world-leading companies. Story County provides thousands of tech, advanced manufacturing, and logistics careers for Nevadans. We're diversifying and driving Nevada's economy and generating millions in tax revenue and billions in economic activity across northern Nevada. Story County is leading Nevada's future.
Welcome to the Ahern Boutique Hotel, where luxury and warmth come together in the heart of Las Vegas.
We take pride in offering a one-of-a-kind experience for both locals and tourists.
Join us for handcrafted cocktails and an unforgettable experience.
Joel's Chop House, the perfect place to savor views of the Las Vegas Strip.
Satisfy your cravings at the Ahern Chocolate Shop.
No smoking, no resort fees, and the parking is always free. The Ahern Luxury Boutique Hotel is your home away from home.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we're always delighted to welcome back to the program Helen Foley. She is the president of Foley Public Affairs, a former state senator. Pleasure to have you back.
Hey, thank you, Sam. I'm happy to be here.
All right, so the legislative session is, well, really, it's pretty much underway. Your thoughts so far after the State of the State?
Well, it's not just the State of the State. I watched the budget hearings yesterday, and that was quite interesting. Evidently, there's a $335 million deficit in the budget. Now, the administration came forward yesterday, and they've made up a lot of that money. Some of it a little questionable right now, but they're down to about $85 million deficit. I don't know what has happened up there, but they've had some firings, some new people coming on. I felt sorry for Ryan Cherry yesterday, although he did take responsibility for some of the problems. There's a lot of hiccups and a lot of things that need to be resolved in the next week.
And Ryan Cherry is, of course, the governor's chief of staff. Now, something that should be pointed out, because a lot of people don't realize this, is the first budget that a governor has at a legislative session is really not his own. It's the previous governor has put the budget together. They get to put some things in there, but it's really put together before they even get into office, correct?
That's right. And so last time when Lombardo had just been elected, it was really from the Sisolak administration that budget had come forward. They did make some fine tuning, but this time it's all on the governor because he was governor during the last legislative cycle and through then. So they've got some issues to work out. I'm pleased with the way he's talking about mental health, especially for children, the way he's talking about trying to address some of the homeless issues. I think there are some good things that the governor has proposed in his State of the State address, but the devil is in the details, and he wants to bifurcate the Health and Human Services into a Nevada Health Authority. I hope that can work. It could give a lot more attention to the Medicaid issue as well as mental health issues. And that would be very good. Let's see where the money comes from and how that might be divided. And I'm sure the Democrats in the legislature will have a major say in how that works.
Lindsay Knox was here on the program last week, and she was talking about how initially she thought that this was going to be a smooth session and not a lot of fighting, and now she's kind of changed her mind on that. How do you feel about that?
Well, I think the world of Steve Yeager and Nicole Cannizzaro, as well as the governor, and they've all been saying, let's try to work together. Let's achieve something that we can all be proud of. But they've got some sticking points. There's always posturing, but hopefully they can come to some agreements without too much dissension.
How big a role does the upcoming election cycle play in what's going to happen in Carson City this session, with the governor's race, for example?
For next election.
Right.
Well,
Well, it's already underway, obviously.
Oh, sure. And he did a tremendous job in preventing the assembly from being veto proof, as well, as the rest of the legislature. He got in and actively supported Republican candidates. And I think that made a big difference. He's well respected up there. But the next election is quite a while from now, and he has to show good performance in this session in order to move forward.
So how does Aaron Ford announcing that he's running for governor play into all of this?
Well, for lobbyists, it's difficult to go and even, as Democrats, it's difficult to go and strongly support him when you have to get your legislation passed and approved. The governor had 75 vetoes last session. That was more than any other governor. And I don't think lawmakers, well, maybe lawmakers, but certainly not lobbyists, want to get involved at this stage of the game.
No, well, and I can certainly understand that. What's going to be fascinating is based on what we saw of the amount of money that came in for the Senate race, the U.S. Senate race, and for the presidential election, that this governor's race is going to be a huge amount of money. I was talking to folks in D.C. last September about the fact that Steve Sisolak had raised $15 million to run for re-election as governor and lost. And their response to me was, in Nevada these days, $15 million isn't a whole lot of money.
Well, I agree with you, but I have to say there's a heck of a lot more than the money involved. I know just with the presidential race, I was a strong Kamala Harris supporter, but I got so sick and tired of getting text messages and getting emails begging for money every single time I heard from any of these people, whether it was the Democratic Governors Association or anything else. The only thing they wanted was money. What I wanted was some information about, this is what I stand for. These are the key messages that you can share with your neighbors. Let's get out and work and support, instead of always asking for the damn dollar. It's very disgusting that that's all we seem to care about. I think Aaron Ford has a great opportunity in the coming months, challenging the president on some of the immigration issues. What on earth is Nevada going to do if there's a raid at the casinos, getting rid of all of those people that are undocumented? We could have a horrible time. What about in California with all the people that pick the oranges and the vegetables? It would be horrible if all of those people were sent back. So I think him getting involved with other Democratic attorney generals and trying to fight this thing. Go ahead, get rid of the criminals. I don't think anybody has a problem with wanting the president to get rid of criminals who are not here legally, but stay away from everyone else. And I think the performance that Aaron Ford does in that arena is far more important than how many dollars he can raise right now.
Are you suggesting that there may be people who are illegal working in the gaming industry? I can't imagine that.
Shocking.
You know, I remember a story from several years ago of a casino in Sparks where one of the employees came to the general manager and said, "Why are you taking out money from my paycheck?" And the person said, "Well, this is your child support." He said, "I don't have any children." Well, apparently his Social Security number was fake and linked to somebody that did have children, and they were deducting the money for the child support out of his paycheck. So I guess it does happen occasionally in the gaming industry. But no, I think that as much as there is talk and bluster and negotiating places, that this administration, at least the top of the administration in the form of the president, is very familiar with what goes on in Nevada. You saw on the stage of the inauguration, Mrs. Miriam Adelson sitting there, Phil Ruffin sitting there. I don't think that there's any doubt that gaming will have a strong voice, including Steve Wynns, in the president's ear. So I think that a lot of industries may be better protected, but I think everybody agrees, get rid of the criminals, get rid of the trouble, and that would be very helpful.
Well,
but also it would be nice if...
Sam, that's not what he's saying. He's doing exactly what he said he was going to do during the campaign, and people are going to be hurt by it. And now saying that people who were born in the United States of America are not U.S. citizens because their mother came here illegally, that is against the Constitution.
Correct.
And so, let this new president do what he said he was going to do, and let people feel the pain, and then maybe they'll realize they made a mistake in electing him. Okay,
I will end on this note, which is there is a difference between campaigning and governing, and there are lots of other...
You don't lie, and that's what he did. He can't say, "Oh, I'm going to do all of this and I care so much about your groceries," when what he's doing is he is taking all the oligarchs in the world and putting them first. I'm interested in seeing this Steve Bannon versus Elon Musk, the MAGA against the multi-billionaires. Let's see that fight. But you know what? I'm just sitting back and watching because that's what the people voted on. So let's see how well the president does.
Okay, let's take a break and we'll come back and talk more about Nevada after this timeout with Helen Foley after this.
Retail's impact on Nevada's economy? Enormous. 8,600 businesses, large and small, employing 145,000 workers. And last fiscal year, retail paid tax on nearly $60 billion in sales. We're the Retail Association of Nevada. We support retail, we help it grow, and we mean business.
RANNV.org.
Pro Group Management is the place where companies can find workers' comp solutions that are designed to meet their specific business requirements. As regulations evolve, Pro Group takes a proactive approach to clear the path to make sure your business stays ahead of the curve. Knowing your workers' comp program is optimized, you can focus on other important matters related to your growing business. Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you.
Truck drivers are some of the hardest working people you'll meet, delivering over 70% of America's freight and 92% of Nevada's. When there's a natural disaster, they're delivering critical supplies to help those communities recover and rebuild. Every sector of the economy and our nation's military rely on truck drivers. So let's take a moment to say thank you. On the open road or city streets, our truck drivers are rolling to make our economy and our nation stronger. Trucking moves America forward.
What do you count on? You count on your power every day. At NV Energy, we've always powered what's important to you, but we're not looking at the past. We're focused on the future. While our standards are high, our rates will remain low. And our commitment to renewables isn't just meeting standards, but leading the way. Because you can count on more than just your power. You can count on the company who brings it to you. That's our promise. you can count on it.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with former State Senator Helen Foley. She's the president of Foley Public Affairs. You talked about mental health earlier, and look, we got a guest star just coming in through the back there. That's a very adorable picture right there.
Thank you.
What's your dog's
That's
name?
Betsy.
Hey, Betsy. You're very cute. You will be a big star now. She'll want more money, Helen. I'm telling you that right now. So when we talk about mental health, now you've got a second one coming in?
That's Andy. It's all right. We've got a menagerie around here. It's okay.
Apparently so.
I can still focus. It's okay.
All right. So when you talk about mental health, the first thing that comes to mind is that, first of all, this has been a subject for the last 40 plus years that we've been talking about here in Nevada. I remember when I first started on TV news on the weekends, that was a huge issue. Where are we going to find the mental health professionals, even if we find the money?
Well, that can be a challenge. I have been privileged to serve on the board of a federally qualified health center. You may have heard about them. They're also referred to as FQHCs. First Med is in Southern Nevada, and they actually are gold standard. The top 20% of all FQHCs in the country, they fall under that category. They provide an awful lot of mental health services. We have the Child Haven contract, as well as serving the majority of youngsters that are within the foster care system. And, you know, it's always been terrible finding equity between physical health and mental health. One of the things that we can do is to pay interns if they are supervised, if they know that they're going to get paid, if they can get Medicaid, if we can get insurance companies to pay without very onerous prior authorization rules, there will be a greater demand and people will come to Nevada. More will graduate in our Nevada schools for professionals, master's level mental health therapists, desperately needed. But also, you have to be careful about capitation. And what that means is there's an insurance company that says you get 4 visits. Well, what if you've been extremely traumatized and you might need more visits than that? You know, these are all issues that come into play. But I really appreciate, and I know it has a lot to do with the Department of Justice problem that we have in how we've been taking care of our youth and mental health. But the governor is focusing on it. Stacey Weeks, who's the greatest thing that's happened to Nevada in a long time, will head up his Nevada Health Authority. And she's been very, very good at trying to facilitate the opportunity for people to get mental health services.
Another area that's critical, and especially as these kids age out of this system, is the autism community. I mean, we really need more funding to help kids with autism that are now young. I shouldn't even call them kids. They're young adults, young people. And, you know, when we talked about this first, when Jim Gibbons was governor, and he did a lot to help kids with autism back in the day. He didn't get a lot of credit for it, but he did. That at some point when their families have passed on, their parents especially, that what are we going to do with these folks? Are we going to just warehouse them? How are we going to take care of them?
Well, you know, that is an issue that we also deal with children who have Down syndrome. Loving parents who have always taken care of them, and then what happens as they begin to age. Opportunity Village has done an excellent job in that area and finding housing, finding employment, finding a community for these individuals. And autism is going to have to be in that same direction. We've got to have a holistic approach to dealing with them. We've come a long way with autism, but there's still a lot more to do.
The governor, when he was sheriff, I thought did a terrific job by splitting up 911 calls between, if you called into 911 and it was a mental health issue, you got to talk to a mental health professional rather than police or fire. I'm wondering how he could adapt that kind of thinking on a state level.
Well, we have. A few years ago, I represent T-Mobile, and there was a special tax that was provided that would go to a mental health type of 911 system so that you don't escalate a problem just because there is a mental health issue. You bring in therapists as you bring in the police, and you work through many of those problems. It's been slow getting off the ground, but it is there. The funding is available from all wireless companies. And so we'll see some dramatic changes in the next couple of years.
Well, that's good to hear. Let's take another break. We'll be back with Helen Foley after this timeout.
The Nevada Builders Alliance has been protecting the interests of the construction industry for over 50 years. Our programs save members thousands of dollars every year and allow them to provide much-needed benefits to their employees. Our industry also allows Nevada to grow. If you're thinking about a career in the construction industry, reach out. And if you haven't thought of a career in construction, what are you waiting for? We are the Nevada Builders Alliance.
Welcome to the Winnemucca Big R.
Hi, I'm John Walker. Welcome to Big R Lovelock.
Hi, I'm Rich Martin. Welcome to Fallon Big R.
My name is Braden. Welcome to Big R Fernley.
Hi, I'm Kelly. Welcome to Big R Sparks.
The new year is bringing so much fun to Tamarack Casino with cash and free play drawings Thursdays and Saturdays and $40,000 in grand finale giveaways Thursday, February 27th. Your good times are at Tamarack Casino.
Story County, helping build Nevada's future.
Save money and take transit. Did you know you can ride the bus all day for less than what it would cost you for a gallon of gas? Plan your trip now by going to rtcwashoe.com.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with former State Senator Helen Foley. She's the president of Foley Public Affairs. Transportation is a big deal to you. Explain what things you're involved in at this point and how it might affect people, especially in Southern Nevada.
Well, thank you, Sam. When you talk about education or affordable housing, economic development, healthcare, public safety, all of these issues intersect with transportation. When we look at the workforce on the Strip, so many of the people that are employees get there through public transportation. So it is an issue that must be addressed in Nevada. Our roadways have been paid for over the years through a tax when you fill up your car with gasoline. Well, over the years, cars have become far more fuel efficient. And then all of the electric vehicles, people are not going to the gas pump as often. And so it's very stagnant in how we pay for our roads. So there needs to be a complete rethinking of how we do that. And those issues will be coming up during the session. It's not easy, but I think we're going to have to look at the miles that people travel on the roads rather than how their vehicle is fueled. And so that will come up. I've had the privilege of working for about 5 to 8 years with Transportation Resource Advisory Committee in Southern Nevada. We refer to it as TRAC, and it's through the RTC. It's made up of union leaders, officials from all the chambers of commerce, from all of the hotels. There's actually 30 members on this committee. And we do an awful lot to try to figure out how we can better not only our roadway funding, but our transit issue. It's funny, I was thinking yesterday, my uncle Jimmy McDaniel was an architect in Las Vegas. And in 1965, he and Frank Scott, who owned the Union Plaza Hotel, created this concept of having a monorail go down downtown and then to the Strip and then to the airport. And it would have really revolutionized how people got around in Southern Nevada. That was in 1965.
A lot easier to have done that then than now.
There were 150,000 people here in those days, and now there's 2.2 million. The other thing was, when I worked for the city of Las Vegas in the 80s, we created this concept of a super speed train, a maglev system, magnetically levitated system, to go from Las Vegas to Los Angeles. 1985, Sam. And now Brightline has come along, and I've just got my fingers crossed, hoping that that will move forward. We've got some high hopes for them, but progress is a tough thing in Nevada.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, the high-speed rail has never been in a better position than it is now, and at least Brightline knows how to run a company. And
they do.
So I think that is going to get done, and I'm excited for the Warm Springs area where they've got the 100 acres, that it won't just be a train station, it's a whole development. Helen, I will see you in Carson City in just a couple of weeks. I'm looking forward to it.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Sam. It's always fun.
Always a pleasure. Thank you, Helen, and we'll be right back.
Here on 7 at 7, we're bringing you the local headlines in just 7 minutes.
We've got you covered in the morning, evening, and for all breaking news, in between, and as it happens.
Life is busy, and we don't waste your time. Join us for local news now streaming on our YouTube page.
Each day, the Children's Advocacy Alliance partners with leaders, legislators, and families across Nevada to improve children's health, education, economic well-being, and safety. We recognize Nevada will be no better than the state of its children. Be a part of this change. Be a supporter of the Children's Advocacy Alliance. For more information, go to caanv.org.
For 50 years, Nevada Heating has been keeping people comfortable in their homes. At Nevada Heating, call the Do It Right guys and get the heat back on today. Call us today and we'll fix it today. That's the Nevada Heating way. Why freeze for days on end when Nevada Heating can get your furnace fixed today? Call us today and we'll fix it today at 323-5585 or schedule us on our website at nevadaheating.com.
It happens. And when it does, there's UMC Quick Care.
Snorkel personnel lifts are engineered beyond the industry norm to an uncommon level of safety and durability, and with an eye towards sustainability. They're also designed to be simple to operate and maintain. Snorkel, always at the cutting edge of progress.
A new year brings new ways to win big with the $150,000 flurry of cash giveaways at Carson Valley Inn. Thursday and Saturday prize drawings, including up to $5,000 in cash and up to $10,000 during the grand prize giveaways, only at the Carson Valley Inn.
Thanks for watching Nevada Newsmakers. We'll see you on the next broadcast.